I'm taking the strap. I'm strapped up.
Seven, what was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 255 of SZN Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And you know the drill by now, guys. My usual housekeeping message, please head over to SZN Podcast or SZN Pod. Those are our Twitter and Instagram pages, and they will take you to where we're situated at streaming-wise. So if you click on the link in the bio, you'll see that link will take you to where we're situated at, whether it's audio, so like Apple, Podcast, Spotify, the usual suspects, but also if you like visuals, the YouTube link is also there as well. So make sure you do that for us, guys. We appreciate all the comments from you listeners, etc. We like engaging. Flowz, hope you're good, my bro.
Yeah, man. How are you?
Yeah, man. I'm good. A lot to talk about this week, as usual, to be fair. We know where we want to start with. We want to start with, I guess, the card that was on the weekend. Jack Catterall making his return versus Eubank. First things first, Flowz. I didn't actually realize that this fight was at 147. I didn't actually realize that Catterall had moved up. And Eubank also moved up. Yeah. See, you're surprised as well. It was at 147, bro.
Yeah.
They both moved up because obviously we know Catterall's been campaigning at 140 for a while. It kind of makes sense, I guess, you know. But last I heard of Harlem, before the McKenna fight, you know he was getting into it with Adam Azim.
Yeah.
Obviously, Adam Azim's at 140. So I didn't realize that Harlem had also moved up as well. I'm not too sure when that. I'm pretty sure that McKenna fight must have been at 140. I don't know. But yeah. So this fight was at 147, bro. So sneaky move up from both guys, but I think obviously more so Catterall. Yeah, before we get into the fight, Catterall 147. You know, what are your initial thoughts of that?
147 is looking lively again, almost. It's like the eyes were taken off it a bit. And what we expected to unfold at 147 hasn't quite happened. But all them man that we were talking about before, basically all about at 140, 135, and found their way to 147, it's seeming, or heading in that direction.
To 147. Yeah.
So yeah. Good addition to that cohort.
Yeah. I understand it as well, Flowz, because he's on 140 a long time, and obviously things haven't gone well for it. Well, they haven't gone as they should have. Obviously, with the whole Josh Taylor thing, the first fight, we know he should have been champion at 140. Got robbed of that.
Should have been undisputed.
He should have been undisputed champion at 140. Got robbed of that, basically. Took him a while to get his get back. And it's just been, I feel like, final eliminator upon final eliminator upon final eliminator. And unfortunately, just when he was on the cusp of, you know, challenging for a title, he had to win one more fight. He lost against Barboza. And as we saw, Barboza went on to fight Teofimo. So that was his chance again. So yeah, I guess with that, it's like, cool, I've tried. It just hasn't gone well for me in this division. Let me move up. Let me try. Obviously, these lot, they get older, right? And it gets harder to make weight. I always thought Josh Catterall was a bit small as a 140 pounder anyways. So it is intriguing to see him at 147. But I just like you, Flowz, I welcome the addition to that division that's getting more and more stacked. But let's talk about this fight, Flowz, because as I said last week, and as we previewed it, I expected Catterall to really and truly make short work of Eubank. I'll be so real, given that Catterall has operated at a much higher level for much longer, and this is really Eubank's first step up fight, of this magnitude to someone of this caliber when it could be called about Catterall. So yeah, I was fully expecting Catterall to do the business, shall I say. And it was an interesting fight for a number of reasons, bro. I tuned in live, watched the full thing. I think for me, it was quite apparent from jump that Catterall was the better man, obviously, and, you know, had operated at a high level, was showing him levels from the jump, in my opinion. I could see that from round one. But what Harlem Eubank was doing, Flowz, was it was it was making me laugh a little bit. I can't lie, bro, because Catterall sort of started off in his usual. Obviously, we know his Catterall way. Very very good boxer, good footwork, quick hands, good counter puncher. Tends to rely on counter punching probably a bit too much, but yeah, he was doing that. But what Harlem Eubank was doing, he was being aggressive, but it was weird because he was doing some weird herky jerky style flows, herky jerky style, doing a lot of movement, but not doing anything with it. Flowz, I was watching this fight thinking, what's Harlem Eubank doing here? He's herky jerking his way into the pocket with this guy, but standing there, Flowz, and not jabbing his way in, just herky jerking his way in, and bro, stand and not doing anything, just standing there.
Yeah.
It was killing me, bro. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
I was so confused, man, because he would do all the herky jerky stuff, the posturing, the posing, herky jerky, get close, not throw, get pieced up,
Yep.
get caught, and then retreat, back away, move around the ring, pose, smile. I'm like, you're getting pieced up, you're smiling, you're fainting, you're jerking, you're doing a lot of head movement, but you're not boxing. You're getting caught and then you're smiling and then you're not even. Then he would explode in little pockets. He was trying to explode.
Yeah, he was trying to explode.
And rush his way in.
Bro,
yeah.
He looked very, I won't say amateur, but like obviously like levels again. Like as you said, when he would explode, he's exploded in the way where he's off balance. And footwork all over the place. So he's damn near tripping himself up. Do you know what I mean? Or Catterall will just time him. So it was a very, very baffling, for me anyway, game plan from Harlem Eubank. And after 3 rounds, I'm there saying, this guy's just wasting his energy. Like, this is cardio right now. Because how are you going to be in there? You can't, against someone the level of Catterall, you can't just hurt your joke and way you're in and just stand there. Bro, he was just standing there. He wasn't doing
nothing, not throwing.
Like, how do you expect to win this fight if you're not gonna throw punches first of all, but also you're not jabbing your way in, so you're just standing there, and then someone like Catterall can just piece you up 1, 2, 3, then back away because he's got superior footwork, or you're doing the opposite of you're trying to jump in and be aggressive and exploding with a guy that's a supreme counter puncher. He's just gonna catch you and time you every single time. So the game plan was off from the jump, bro, and then sometimes they'll tie up, bro. And first of all, it wasn't a nice fight to watch. It was very, very ugly, scrappy. Because when they'll tie up, and I feel like Harlem was leading this, they will then start wrestling. A few times, bro. There was
to the ground.
Wrestled him to the ground a couple times. So both tussling. So it wasn't. I just didn't get what Harlem Eubank was on. I'll be so real to you, bro. I didn't understand what he was on and what he was looking to achieve with that style, and it was baffling to me. To me,
when you say amateurish, he wouldn't look out of place and influence of boxing with that performance. It looks like a YouTube boxer performance. Yeah, crazy, man.
Looks the part, approach plays nice, but when it comes to actually executing, bro, there was no execution. It was silly, and I'll be honest, bro. Catterall to me wasn't great per se. He didn't really need to be great though, because you were seeing Catterall was winning rounds off maybe 3 or 4 landed punches, purely because of the fact that he's landed some quality work in a small amount of time, and Harlem isn't offering anything. So Catterall didn't even need to be great, to be honest, to beat this guy or to be winning the fight. I think I gave Harlem 1 round, to be honest. But apart from that, Catterall won every round. And even though it wasn't like a dominating, I guess, performance, he was landing in much better work based just of pure class. And I, for one, would have liked to have seen Catterall me push it. And I think that's one critique we've had with Catterall sometimes in his career, who obviously we both rate him as a boxer, but there are times where I feel like he could be more of a killer and he could push more. And I felt like against someone like Harlem Eubank, he could have easily just carried on, pushed the pace, and stepped to him. And I think he started to be honest, Flowz, up until the untimely end. Obviously, we've got to talk about what happened because this fight didn't go the full 12. It actually ended in the 6th round, and that's due to obviously Orthodox versus Southpaw. It happens a lot, but there was a nasty clash of heads, and you could see straight away a nasty, huge cut. They clashed, and they actually both cut open on both eyes, on both boxers' eyes. Eubanks was smaller though, and Catterall's was huge, bro, massive. Pause. Pause. Yeah, but yeah, Catterall's cut was nasty. This yeah, very very nasty. Yeah, it was a routine clash of heads. I'll say, Flowz. It kind of looked like Eubank. He led it a little bit, but I don't want to, say accuse him for doing that. But what followed afterwards was a bit confusing, right? With the doctors and the referee.
Before that, Eubank's reaction to the cut, he punched him back in the head.
Oh yeah.
And
Catterall was vexed. He was mouthing off. Catterall was livid.
Yeah, it was stupid. But it was confusing because Catterall went to the corner, and again we've said all this, we've highlighted before that getting corner work in the middle of a round is not allowed, really. Mm-hmm. So the referee quickly ran over.
Oh yeah.
Out. But yeah, what happened next was it seemed very confusing. Commentators were certainly confused.
Yeah. So what the commentators or what it looked like happened was there's 2 different doctors in the corner. Catterall's doctor has looked at the cut, assessed the cut. They've got the doctors in, and it seemed like Catterall's corner had accepted the cut. They've said it's a deep cut, but they've seemed to wave Catterall on to continue. Meanwhile, Eubank in his corner has a different doctor who's looked at it, his cut. The cut's a lot more shallow and not as bad as Catterall's. But from what the commentators, or from what we saw anyways, what transpired and what the commentators were saying, it seemed that Eubank's doctor they basically said, no, this fight can't continue. So just when we're thinking the fight is going to continue, the referee has looked at the judges and they come in and waved the fight off. And they've led us to believe that it's come from Harlem Eubank's side and his doctor. Which again, he's then come out and said that it wasn't the case. It was actually the referee that stopped it. But a bit of confusion there of what happened. But essentially, regardless, due to these cuts, the fight got stopped. Regardless.
Honestly, we've got to give credit to the referee here because both cuts were bad cuts. Obviously, Catterall was way worse. But Eubanks was a bad cut too. I think I'm surprised that both doctors gave you all clear to box on. Obviously, the fighters both said they wanted to continue, I'm sure. Yeah. But I think the ref made the right decision because they were nasty. And my sentiments, that fight would have just ended up being blood everywhere. Yeah. All over the ring. It would have just been a bit barbaric in my eyes. So I'm glad the ref made that decision.
Yeah. So due to it obviously being from an accident and clash of heads, rulebook says that it will go to scorecards. And, I'm there. Catterall, even though it wasn't a very nice fight to watch, very scrappy, it's quite clear that Catterall won that fight. And from there, from when the judges' scorecards were about to be read, I'm looking at Eubank. I already know this. Okay, yeah, he is on some bullshit. Like, he's on some bullshit. Like, because he's there, hands raised. Even when the final bell went, hands raised, jumping up like he's won. I'm thinking, come on, dog. Come on, man. We've seen some shady behavior before, but come on, man. So when they've read the scorecards and they've given it in favor of Catterall, do you see his reaction? He was moving shocked. I said, yeah, okay, yeah. He's on that type of time, Flowz. I know when I'm about to be played with. So I hope you listen to you listen to his quote.
I didn't catch the first.
Oh, Flowz.
Yeah, what did you say?
Look, man. A deluded boxer is a sight to see, bro. A deluded fighter is a sight to see. They've interviewed Eubank, right? He said, "Yeah, man." He said first he said that he did. Yeah, he felt like he was just getting into his groove. He was starting to apply pressure. He said he said that he was in there with world class opponent. He showed that he's world class tonight. He felt like he won the fight. It was given Broner versus Pacquiao.
Legendary.
I beat him. I beat that boy.
I'll make you miss.
I controlled the fight. I beat that boy. It was given that. I'm not even joking.
Everybody knows I beat him.
Bro, it was given Broner Pacquiao. He said that, he said he was world class in there. He showed that he's world class. He said the game plan was perfect and he was really starting to apply pressure and get to him. He said that he felt he won the fight, and he said they have to run it back. He said we need that rematch because he said it's been taken from him. I said okay. You're Harlem. You're on that type of time. Safe in a bit.
Oh man, look, I'm all for pretending that you won rather than I'm all for it. I respect that too. But when you give that kind of performance, don't try it. Don't push it.
Bro, craziness.
Oh,
but fair enough. Look, he felt like he won, but that rematch is not happening because Hearn's come out and said straight away, can't lie. Credit to Harlem, but we're here for bigger and better. We want to get Jack a title shot, so we're going to move on. So that rematch is not happening, and it shouldn't happen because even though it wasn't a nice fight and Carroll wasn't amazing, it was quite clear that Harlem Eubank shouldn't be in the ring with him. I'll be so real. Yeah. And it is what it is. So Jack moves on. Obviously, once that cut heals, he can move on and challenge for one of the titles. Hearns, he's lining him up for a title shot. He moves on, but Harlem, man, back to the drawing board for you. I'm afraid some work to be done. Some work to be done for sure because what I saw.
I saw Turkey's tweet. Did you see Turkey's tweet?
But
I think it was a reference to this fight. That this wasn't even Tom and Jerry. This was Jerry and V Jerry.
We're gonna have to talk about Turkey, by the way, his tweets because he's getting out of hand. We're gonna have to talk. Because did you see the Shakur one today?
Huh?
Did you see the Shakur tweet he sent out today? I think today or yesterday.
About the shrinking ring or something.
About the shrinking ring. Yep.
Yeah.
We need to talk about Turkey. He's right. He's bro. He's moving out. Yeah, he's riding amok on the Twitter streets. He's acting a damn fool right now. But shout out to Jack. Like I said, I look forward to seeing him at 147. See how he quits himself there. But it wasn't the best fight to watch, to be fair. So before we move on, quick shout out to Joe Cordina as well. I think he was a chief support. I saw he won his fight as well. I caught the back end of that fight. Looked fairly competitive, but comfortable win, I think. So shout out to him because he's back on the winning trail as well, I believe. All right, Flowz, let's talk about this upcoming week because there is a lot to talk about. Some great fights. First things first, on Friday we have a trilogy to discuss. Flowz, it's interesting. I feel like the hype for this trilogy, for this third fight, is lower to the first two. And I almost feel like I haven't really seen it as much, I feel like. I haven't seen promo here and there. And Netflix have been reminding me every single time that it's coming. But I just feel like the hype isn't as strong as it was for maybe the first two fights. And maybe that could be due to the fact that, I don't know, Flowz, do you think that's due to the fact that maybe because of how the second fight went? Or the fact that people might be a bit tired of seeing Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor, which is what I'm talking about, listeners, the third fight. I feel like, I don't know if you feel the same, but I feel like there isn't as much hype for this third fight. And it's a third fight in a trilogy, right? So it shouldn't have hype.
I guess, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I feel like more's been going on in boxing around this time. You just have, it just feels a bit busier in terms of boxing, in the boxing world and boxing news. I think the first one was very historic. I think now we've seen it twice, so maybe it's not new in that sense. But I'm starting to see promo this week. I've certainly been reminded all week, so we know what to expect as well. I think that's part of it. We know what we're going to expect. It's going to be a great fight, but there's no anticipation in the sense that what's going to happen, who's going to win. We know exactly what we're going to get. A war.
Do we question for you? Do we really care about trilogies if it's 2-0?
Yeah, I guess that adds to it. It does add to it because it's 2-0. It's even gonna be
Even
3-0 or 2-1.
even though it's a 2-0 of the most controversial order, because both fights 50-50 split both ways. Well, first fight was definitely split on who won. Second fight, it was more in favor of Serrano, so it was more controversial.
Yeah.
But it's still 2-0 another day. I say this as well because obviously we saw this week as well that supposedly, Turkey did tweet it, Ring Magazine tweeted it, so supposedly we're getting Fury Usyk free as well. And it's like, again, I know there was a lot of groans in that sense because it's 2-0. Why do we see that again? But this one's even closer, right? Between the two fighters. And both fights were a war, legit, both wars. But still, I feel like it being 2-0 takes away from it a little bit, if you ask me. Whereas a Bivol Beterbiev, for example, where it's 1-1, where they're saying, yo, we need that rubber match ASAP. Make that ASAP. You know what I mean? I think 2-0 might take away from the fact that it's a historic trilogy fight.
Yeah, that's definitely a factor. Sure. Yeah, if it was 1-1 now, everyone will be locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that
but
for
as
sure.
as you said, Flowz, it's going to be like, we don't even need to preview too tough. It's going to be a marvelous fight. The first two fights, and even though it was 2-0, I still want to see if, like, I'm going to get my money's worth. I'm going to get my Netflix subscription worth on that Friday night, watching these two women go to war for the third time, because we know what they're both on. Boy, I don't even know winners. I don't even know predictions, to be honest. I've not thought about this. So I'll be so real.
Yeah.
I feel like Amanda might get it this time. To be fair, due to the controversy, and she fights in one way. I don't know if she can change her game plan because she outlanded Katie last time and still didn't get the win. And the last one was contentious again because I can make a case for both fighters winning that fight. I'll be so real. I can make a case for Katie. I can make a case for Amanda. It was a great fight again. But really and truly, I don't really have a horse in the race, Flowz. And I can't really pick a winner too tough. But I suspect, I don't know why, I have an inkling that Amanda might get it this time. What about you?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they might, because look, it doesn't at this point. It doesn't even come down to who's right or wrong in your prediction, because the last two fights it could have gone either way. Legit gone either way. It was down to how the judges scored it and how the judges saw it on the night. But everyone was split down the middle, and you could argue for both fighters, both fights. And it'll be the same. I expect it'll be the same. I just think, it's who they give it to, it's who they hand it to. So it could be a draw, it could be Katie, it could be Amanda. I think they'll give it to Amanda.
Yeah.
Just because the last two fights definitely have to be played on minds. Even, I don't know, I won't say the judges aren't professional, but it's definitely going to play on minds. So I think Amanda might get it. And it gives them a reason to run it back again, really. If it's 3-0, If it's 3-0, there's no running it back anymore.
Word.
Even if it's controversial. But 2-1, then you can start making a case that maybe it could have been 3-0 Amanda, so they have to run it.
True.
Yeah.
First.
What will be shocking is if someone gets washed and stopped.
I highly doubt that though. Yeah,
that would be shocking.
That would be shocking. Yeah. But fair enough. From what I can see, Flowz as well, I think it might be an all-female card, and every fight on the card's a world title fight, which is amazing. So shout out to Jake Paul. Obviously, this is an MVP Promotions card. Undercard, we've got Eddie Scotney versus Yamilef Mercado. That's a unification. I think in the super bantamweight division for women. Big up, obviously UK's Eddie Scotney, undefeated. So we're rooting for her there. We have the return of the face of boxing, AB, and I'm not talking Adrian Broner. I'm talking about Alicia Baumgardner, Could see her back. Obviously, she signed with MVP Promotions. I'm pretty sure she's still undisputed right in her weight class, but she's fighting a lady called Jennifer Miranda. I'm not too sure about the opponent, but when AB's fighting, I'm going to be there. And then we've also got as well another world title fight. I think another unification in the bantamweight division. Dina Forsland versus Sharetta Metcalf. So it's a high quality card, high quality women's boxing card flows. Every fight's a world title fight. It should be a great night. If you ask me, I think it's going to be a cracking night of boxing on Netflix. Listeners, I do implore you to go and make sure you tune in for that if you can. Especially Katie Taylor and Serrano, because the first two fights, flows, we can attest, movies, Oscar-winning movies. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it should be great. I'll be locked in.
Yeah, look, yeah, shout out to MVP. They've done a big signing of a bunch of female fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, yeah, we've always given Jake Paul these props for his actual contributions to boxing. Maybe not so much the antics and whatnot.
Yeah,
he definitely put women's boxing, I would say. Him and Eddie Hearn certainly put it on the map.
He's done so bright by Man Serrano as well, by the way. Like he's been with her for time, always put her on big shows, got her these big fights. So he smashed it with Amanda for real. So yeah, shout out to Jake still. All right, Flows, another card to talk about on Saturday. We have Shakur Stevenson headlining against William Zepeda, Shakur's putting his WBC 135-pound belt on the line. This fight could have happened, but as we know, Zepeda ducked, I think, a few times, but he finally had nowhere to run, and now he's fighting. He's taking up his mandatory he's taking up his challenge against Shakur. Flows, this should be a good fight. Styles makes fights, as we know, and we know the way Zepeda fights. Mexican style, aggressive pressure fighter, and we know what Shakur's about. Right, we ain't got to talk too tough about Shakur. We talked enough about him, about how he's a complete ring general, amazing IQ, one of the best defensive boxers in the world. But also he's good with his hands. So yeah, Flows. I'm sure they're going to market this as a test for Shakur. Obviously, Zepeda's undefeated and he's stopped a lot of guys, etc., etc. But boy, I think Shakur is going to cook, boy, man. I think Shakur's going to cook, boy, man. I think the style. We've seen Zepeda go life and death twice with Tevin Farmer.
Yeah.
Who you can argue is a poor man Shakur in certain ways. Old Shakur.
Yeah.
Yep. Tevin Farmer cooked, boy. And if in one of them fights, we could say Zepeda got lucky to get the W. So, yeah, man, Shakur is an even better version of Tevin Farmer. So I expect Shakur to really teach boy a boxing lesson. All that pressure is going to amount to nothing against someone that is a master at controlling distance, counter punching, and not being hit as well. So, yeah, man, I'm expecting Shakur to put on a show and really show everyone, that he's not anyone to play with. Yeah, what are your thoughts, Flows? How do you think it's going to play out?
Well, you don't rate Zepeda. You don't rate him like that. No.
Yeah, that's all. Bro, they gave him Boogeyman tag, but
yeah,
he's never been that to me.
Yeah, I think it's clear why he has ducked Shakur. It's plain ducking. I think Shakur wins. The only thing I'll be keeping my eye on is the problem that Shakur's had his whole career: his hands, his power.
Yeah.
Hopefully, there's no hand injury in the fight, or he's fighting with one hand during it. And look, he always needs to he always has a chip on his shoulder. Always feels he needs to prove himself. I'd like to see if he really wants to treat Zepeda and maybe even stop him. It's what he might even be pushing for. But yeah, I expect Shakur to win. Points decision. Pretty comfy. Yeah. Probably have some haters on his back off the fight, as usual.
Yep.
But I
The usual
expect
lot.
this to be done. Yeah. Usual
Dev,
lot says
Tank, all
running,
usually, yep, and
that they
fans.
will treat him like he's not that impressive, all of that stuff. But look, if he can go out and give like a crazy performance and stop Zepeda, that's even better for him. But I expect him to win.
So you mentioned, Shakur having a chip on his shoulder and obviously having heels on his back and him wanting to maybe put on a show and stop this guy. I mentioned it earlier, His Excellency's tweets and the tweet he mentioned about how Shakur's in for a surprise because of each round, the ring's going to get smaller. And like I said, Turkey's been acting a downfall in his Twitter, and he's openly tweeting things like, he he wants certain fighters to win because he has plans for them, and it'd be disastrous if they lose. First, he can't be tweeting these things. He actually can't. Like, that's going to give horrible implications. But focus on Shakur. Obviously, forget all the whole ring gets smaller thing. Obviously, we've seen Turkey already tweet before that he's not interested in seeing these Tom and Jerry type matchups. We've got to blame Devin Haney for this one. But he's not interested in seeing these Tom and Jerry type matchups, and he's going to ask all his Riyatis and fighters to basically stand and trade and not, be on their bike. And with Shakur Flowz, I want to ask you, he's obviously had this tag for a long time now, the boring tag, puts people to sleep, etc., etc. Are you worried that all this pressure on him to, quote unquote, stand and trade is going to have him changing up his style to a style that doesn't necessarily suit him, and that could be detrimental to him in the long run, especially in certain fights, for example, where him going back to him standing and trading is not going to suit him well, for example. Are you worried that could be the case with him, based on all the pressure that's coming or not?
Shakur doesn't fight how Devin fought that fight. Devin's ruined it for everyone. Shakur's never fought like that. He's never fought scared. He never. Like, he boxes, hit and don't get hit. He's not going to give you the opportunity to hit him as such. And if he feels himself, if he feels like he's getting to you, he's going to step on the gas and walk you down. So I think he's too smart for that. I think the people in his camp, the people who believe in him, like the Andre Wards who talk about him, he's too smart to get drawn out into, I want to stand and trade. That's not him. That's not his style. His style is hit and not get hit. He's gonna do what he does. So I think we might see him be a bit more aggressive. I don't think that's gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be sacrificing himself getting hit more often to make that happen. That's not how you have a long. That's not the way he is. That's not his mentality. That's not his style of boxing. He's not gonna change in that way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because that is a worry, I guess, in that sense, where a fighter gets tricked out of his position, basically.
Yeah.
And next thing we know, he's now going to have swinging wars with a Gervonta Davis, for example. And let's be honest, him going it's not good. That's not his strength. He's not going to win that. You know what I mean? So that's what we don't want to see. Obviously, I think the fight that did the most damage to Shakur was the De Los Santos fight. Obviously, we know he broke his hand in that fight, I think. So he was more negative than usual. But he still boxed, but it was very back foot, and because he only really had one hand, he wasn't as active as he was. So that is the fight that I think he got killed for the most. But you're right. It still wasn't what we saw with Devin, where Devin was genuinely scared to do anything. So I think Turkey's got to ease up. I understand, obviously, it's a product that you're selling to people, and we know that exciting fights sell the most. I hear that, fully on board with that. But some of stars make fights with boxing, and most boxers don't be fighting scared like that. They're out there, doing their thing. So I think fighters should stick to what they know and don't get tricked out their position, because it could end badly for them. And we're just making sure we make the right matchups. That's it, right matchups. But I expect, yes, like you said, Shakur to treat Zepeda, to be honest. And yeah, I hope that his hands hold up, because if they do, we will see an aggressive Shakur that's going to look to press the action and get the boy out there if he can. I like to think that if Tevin can drop him, Shakur probably can too. So yeah, we'll see. Flowz, undercard for this one's also really nice. Also really, really nice. First of all, before we get here, another one you want to talk about, but quickly, co-main feature is another world title fight, Flowz. In a 140-pound division, a little Dominican Republic versus Puerto Rico matchup. Puello is putting his belt on the line against Subriel Matias. Obviously, Subriel Matias, ex-champion, lost to Paro. And Puello, we know, I think he beat Gary and Antoine Russell for the title. I think it was interim at the time, and he got elevated. But yeah, Puello's undefeated. Matias has lost twice, I think. Matias, we know, comes with that crazy pressure fighter style, hard hitter, stopped a lot of people. And I think Puello is more of a boxer, bit of both, boxer, puncher. But that should be a good fight, Flowz. That should be a good title fight right there. So, yeah, I don't really have a prediction of who wins that, but I look forward to seeing that one. But the fight on the undercard that I'm looking forward to seeing the most, Flowz, Hamza Sheeraz, obviously up at 168 now, versus the loudmouth from New York, Edgar Berlanga. Flowz, you're smiling. Chosen one, Flowz, you're smiling. The guy that went 12 rounds with Canelo and got dropped, but yeah, still obviously lost, but still won as well, apparently. Flowz, you've been smiling, you've been creasing. I know Berlanga's been killing you, right?
Yeah, Berlanga is one of the funniest boxers right now. I've had him right in the list. The way he
What's your list, Flowz? Got him, Keyshawn?
Got Keyshawn in there, David Adelaide. If we're talking about Rushmore's, Adrian Broder's always there.
Yep.
But yeah, Cambosis is there as well recently. Kills me. Anytime he kills me. Yeah, there's hilarious boxers out there. And Berlanga's right there in the mix.
Right in the mix, for sure.
They'll ask him a question about, what is it that makes you so confident? And he'll refer back to the Canelo fight that he lost, the fight that he got dropped. He said
I lost every round, to be honest.
Every round. Talks about Canelo thought he could walk through me, but I showed him. The fans doubted me, but I showed him against Canelo. Like, you lost,
bro. I keep saying this. You lost. It's insane.
Yeah, he's so New York as well.
Yep, that's what makes him even funnier.
Like we've talked about before, after that Canelo fight, he thought he was a star of everything. He thought he was a superstar.
Yep.
I hear him say he's been boxing for 27 years. He's a veteran in this. But you've got 20 fights. Yeah, super entertaining. I expect this to be a really good fight, I will say. But Berlanga, killing me, man. The whole build-up.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's too funny, man. Too funny. That being said, Flowz, it's a good matchup. Good first fight for Hamza in the division as well. Obviously, Hamza's experienced enough anyways, but to go straight into the division and fight Berlanga, I like that move, bro. I like that move. No small touches, easy touches. Gone for a guy that's established, I guess. So I think Hamza wins this. Well, I'm rooting for him anyways, but I do think Hamza wins this. Obviously, I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. And we last saw Hamza against Adamez, which we thought he would win that fight. It was a very disappointing performance, right? We're not going to beat around the bush. Yeah. In fact, he got given a gift. Let's keep it a buck. He got given a gift. I don't know why. We got credit for the good work Adamez did in putting pressure on him, but I thought that Hamza fought that fight wrong completely. Wasn't aggressive enough, quite tentative, slow to start. Obviously, he performs like that against Berlanga, he will lose, but I like to think that maybe that Adamez fight, Flowz, was a wake-up call for him. And we always questioned how he made 160 because he's very tall and lanky and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I think it made sense anyway. The 160-pound move was always going to happen. So I would assume he's a lot more comfortable at this weight, Flowz. So yeah, I think he should have enough. He's a better boxer than Berlanga, and I think he hits harder too. And even in this new weight class, Flowz, Hamza's still bigger than a lot of guys in terms of rangier and taller than a lot of these guys. So we can probably see him at cruiserweight one day. But yeah, I think Hamza should win this fight, if you ask me. And I'm rooting for him to do so. What about you, Flowz? What do you think? What's your prediction?
Yeah, I think Berlanga is a bit of a weird one. He can definitely pop.
Yeah.
We've seen Hamza get caught. Who caught him? Ammo. Ammo managed to catch him, but he recovered.
He caught him.
Well.
Yeah. He didn't go down though.
Powers of recovery, really. To be fair,
he's
never gone down. He's been caught. But I think if he fixes up on the Adam's performance, he should win. Berlanga impressed. Berlanga's right. He impressed us with the Canelo loss.
He's got dog for sure. He's got dog. Those final rounds, the way he was egging Canelo on, sit in the pocket with him. He's got dog. I'll give him that. But
he's not a better boxer.
Yeah,
he's not a better. But he's hoping to get Hamza out of there. I think that's his best bet. He's not going to win on points. He needs to land something from the gods and pounce on him if he has Hamza hurt. But even then, if he does have Hamza hurt, I still think Hamza's shown the powers of recovery. So, Hamza wins for me.
Yeah. There's, I look forward to it though, Flowz. It should be good. I fully expect the Fat Joe walk out as well, since it's New York. Obviously we know Berlanga's in terror squad, so I fully expect him to get walked out by Fat Joe and co. And if I better hear some drawing in there too, Flowz. I better hear Berlanga. In fact, I'm sure he will be, because he was talking to Canelo. He was talking smack to Canelo in there. So I better hear it. And
beat these gloves together.
Berlanga's hilarious, man. Superstar. Oh man. Yeah. But Hamza, bring it home for us, man. And that's a good win in that division. That's gonna set you up nicely and put you straight in the mix with those other guys, isn't it, Flo? So another top division, 168-pound division, man. Heating up. Definitely heating up. Cool. Flo, it's just one or two things that obviously came to my attention this week in the boxing streets. We had some more announcements, obviously. I think I already mentioned Fury Usyk 3 apparently is going down. But also, Flowz, it's worth mentioning that we saw Benavidez versus Anthony Yard has been made at 175 for Benavidez's title. I think he's got the WBC. Good fight, but again, Yard's matchmaking will always be a mystery to me. But good fight anyways, Flowz. What are your first thoughts when you saw that one? It was meant to be Callum Smith, but obviously they couldn't agree on the price.
Yeah, I was confused how. I was just confused how Anthony Yard found himself in this position again. No knock to him. Fair play. He always takes on challenges. He never ducks any challenge. It always comes down to preparation. But at this point, you could argue he's faced two world-class opponents.
Yep.
Turbiev and Kovalev. Came up short, but he's mixed it in with high-quality opponents now.
Performed admirably in both, to be fair.
Yeah, he did. But it's consistency at that level. Fights at that level drops right back to no ones. What was his last fight? Lyndon Arthur? Was that his last fight?
Yeah.
That was a dull. Was that a dull fight?
It was okay. Lyndon let Yard have it though, which was annoying. We watched that together. That wasn't the undercard of was that Ben?
It wasn't dull. Yeah, but Lyndon fought in a weird way. Yeah, it wasn't dull. Yeah. Lyndon fought weird. Look, shout out to Yard, third time lucky, man. It's actually going to be a great fight. No doubt about it. It's
going to be a cracker.
Great
Absolute
fight.
Cracker. Yeah. And Yard does actually step up in these fights. He does perform above a level that he shows. So it's not a foregone conclusion for Benavidez to win this. Like, obviously, he's strong in favourite, and but Yard hits hard and will come for him. I mean, we've been seeing that we still got issues against Gavril, so it should be a really good fight. It should be a really, really good fight. I expect it to be a cracker still. So yeah.
Yeah,
I expect Benavidez to win, though. I can't lie. Benavidez is on the mad tear, so yeah.
Shout out Yard, Tunde, his whole team for getting in position repeatedly. Or fighting.
Who's he with now, Yard? Because he's left Queensbury. Is he a free agent then?
Yeah, maybe. He's not with Boxer. He's not with Matchroom.
I'm assuming he's left Queensbury after the whole dispute.
Well, did he go back to Queensbury?
I don't even know, bro.
Because I know him and Frank patch things up in a sense. He still talks to them fondly. It sounds like there wasn't beef there. I don't know if he's actually with them again, but look, that's the beauty of where we're at now with boxing. It doesn't matter who you're with. All that side of the street.
Yeah, true.
Fights get made now.
True. Very, very true. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. You're right. Yeah, good luck to Yard. Look forward to previewing that and watching that when the time comes. But yeah, Flowz, I think we can leave it there. Another great episode. This is episode 255 of the SZN Podcast. Once again, I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, you know to find us on the streaming platforms. Peace.
You taking a strap? I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.